is still threatening Niger to use force to restore Mohamed Bazoum as head of the country, without revealing any details of a possible deployment date. Yesterday, COUP supporters took to the streets of the capital, Niamey, waving Russian and Niger flags. Now, we want to get more on this, and I'm now joined by our correspondent, Kechi Ogbonna, who joins us from Lagos. And Kechi, thanks for staying focused on this and giving us more details. First, let's talk about that event, the gathering that happened in Niamey on Sunday. What message was communicated when this group just sort of merged together in the capital?
Well, what we saw on Sunday was a solidarity march for the COUP leaders who have said they remain defiant to holding power. They had come up with a 3-year transition plan, which has been rejected by Ecowas. But the supporters, gathered in Niamey, the capital city. They were waving Nigerian and Russian flags, saying that they support what the junta leaders have done and the plans that they have for the country moving forward. Although they said the leader said the country did not want to go into war in a statement he said on Saturday, but he said that any intervention in Niger would be met with force and it shouldn't be taken lightly.
Well, Nkechi, in terms of the latest on the situation, Ecowas has rejected the idea of a transition of a maximum of 3 years as suggested by the COUP leaders there. Now, does this indicate the end of any diplomatic route for a resolution of this crisis?
It's really unpredictable at this point, Wahiga, because ECOWAS is still trying to explore other diplomatic routes. We do know that an ECOWAS envoy led by Nigeria's former head of state, General Abdulsalam Abubakar, and the Sultan of Sokoto, went to Niger on Saturday to meet with the junta. And also they were allowed access to see ousted President Bazoum. And this gave the region some comfort that a peace agreement was going to be reached, some deal was going to be agreed upon. So we do not know what to expect from ECOWAS at this point. But with this new transition of 3 years suggested by the COUP leaders, ECOWAS may just make do that threat of a military intervention in the coming days.
And Kechi, that's actually what I was going to talk to you about. It seems the more voices come out over this situation, the less there is support for military intervention. Is that what you're hearing as you follow this up?
A lot of people have called for some form of political or diplomatic dialogue to solve this crisis. We do know that experts have said, even humanitarian agencies have said, have listed what the dire consequences of a possible military intervention would mean, not just for Niger, Wahiga, but the entire region. This is a region that is currently marred with several types of humanitarian crises. A lot of people are displaced. A lot of people are refugees in not just Niger, but other parts of the Sahel countries as well, owing to decades of insecurity issues that have marked the region. So everyone is hoping that ECOWAS and the junta leaders would come to some form of diplomatic arrangement that would see a peaceful transition. But like the ECOWAS, Abdel Fattah Musa said on yesterday, actually, he said that he believed this was a delay tactic, some negotiation tactic that the junta leaders were trying to deploy to stretch ECOWAS. But they are possibly going to make do their threat in the coming days, Wahiga.
Well, thank you so much, Nkechi, for giving us the latest on a story I know you've been following quite closely.